Okay, we are live, we are live, we are live. So we're doing something new today. I'm live right now on YouTube. I'm live right now on Instagram. So we're gonna test this out, see how it goes. But we are on day 3 of 30 days of lives for YouTube. So if you're on Instagram and you're not following me on YouTube, you can go do that. So today we're going to be talking all about why you are backsliding on your progress when you start to get that momentum. You start to kind of see some results. You see what I'm saying? And to give an example of what this could look like, this is a very, very, very common thing, right? Consider the people, and this might be you. This might be you. And if it is, it's okay. No shame, no judgment. We just here to, cultivate the awareness, right? Because then we can make some shifts, we can make some changes, right? So let's say you want an exercise regimen, you want a health kick, whatever. You want to lose some weight. Okay. You didn't hopped on the scale and you was like, oh hell no. We gotta do something about this. So then this internal motivation kicks in. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna eat right, I'm gonna buy the right groceries, honey. I'm gonna do what I needs to do to get away from this number on the scale that I'm looking at. I don't want to see this shit. This shit don't feel good to me. The motivation kicks in, you start doing what you gotta do until right? One day you are weighing yourself and you get on the scale and it's like, oh, I done lost 20 pounds. I done, lost 15 pounds. And all of a sudden, that internal motivation that you felt decreases. All of a sudden, that eternal motivation that you felt drops. And then the habits that you picked up, the behaviors that you started to do, you stop doing them. Why? Why does this happen? You start to notice this, okay, you may be listening and be like, this is a pattern. I have done this. Not even just in regards to health. I do this. Why? Your internal motivation that you have programmed subconsciously is away motivation. You are motivated by getting away from something, getting away from the pain, but you're not programmed subconsciously to move towards the pleasure. You think that when you get started and you have that built up motivation, that you're reaching towards something, you're moving towards something, you're trying to get towards something, you're trying to succeed towards something, but really, this all jump started simply because you were trying to get away from the pain, away from something. And so this is how you end up naturally cultivating this pattern where you get just far enough away from something to where you start to backslide. Let's make a business example, right? Let's say you have your business. Have you noticed when potentially, if this might be you, might not be you, if you are someone who revs up the machine when you look at your bank account, okay, there's no judgment because I had that same pattern. I noticed that same pattern in myself. When the number in your bank account gets just low enough that all of a sudden that motivation kicks in, that eternal motivation. Now you showing up, you going in, you making the post, you doing the selling, you doing the this, you doing the that. You might get a couple of clients, you might get some sales, right? You're feeling good. But then what happens? What happens? All of a sudden, those master classes you were doing decrease, those sales posts decrease. Again, because your internal programming is programmed to get away from the pain, not to move towards the success, not to move towards the positive outcome. And that's okay. Because again, we don't judge it. Now, there are some ways that you can even recognize if you have this internal programming, right? And a lot of this is based off of values. And you may be someone who has seen people talk about identity shifting. You've seen them talking about changing your environment. I actually just did a live yesterday about the environment, right? But there's also changing the behaviors and recognizing your capabilities. The one thing that we don't talk about enough are your values, and that is where we find that eternal motivation, and how it is programmed is in our values. And this is something that I go deep into inside of the School of Brain Magic Mastery. And the School of Brain Magic Mastery, if you're unaware, is a certification program that is going to teach you the modalities of neuro-linguistic programming, clinical hypnotherapy, emotional freedom techniques, a variety of modalities designed to help not just you help other people with being able to step into their fullness, their bigness, their greatest potential, and help them achieve their goals and all the other things. But also going through the school itself is going to actually really call you to rise to do the same for yourself. And I always say, when you get to the end, you will not recognize yourself. You come in and you do the things, you will not recognize yourself. There are things that will come up that you didn't even know was there, blocks you didn't know you had, childhood memories that you didn't even think affected you deeply, but were somehow, when you stood up in the front of the class to give that presentation and you stuttered and that one kid made fun of you. You thought it was a minor thing, boo boo. You thought it was a minor thing. And the next thing you know, you are afraid of doing live streams to promote your business. Didn't even know that that was the connection. When you go to the School of Brain Magic Mastery, powerful, magical, I'm telling you. But anyways, so we go deep into this whole concept of being away and toward motivated, not just for yourself, but also for the people that you work with. And something that I want you to even start to pay attention to, if you really want to see how this is showing up for you, pay attention to the marketing messages that attract you when you are buying into things. Are they saying things like, they're providing you a solution? Solutions are for what? Problems. Who are the people who are more prone to picking up on problems? The away motivated people. Okay. 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 So, anyways, I hope that this was illuminating for you. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that this cultivated some sort of awareness. And if it did, please leave a comment below so I know, so I can show up and keep sharing more stuff like this, especially as I'm going through and I'm building out the content for the School of Brain Magic Mastery and some other things. And it's gonna be really magical. But as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, this would be really great to share. Anything that I can do to still help you cultivate that awareness, because I always say awareness is the first step. If you don't have the awareness, you don't know what the fuck to do. You don't know what to shift. You don't know what to change. You don't know what to pivot. So awareness is always going to be the first step. Anyways, I appreciate you so much for being here. I love you so much. And I'm going to see you for tomorrow's live stream.